Alright, welcome back to the Home Story Cup 9 qualifiers for Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 2, which means there are no bets open currently because we joined in after game number 1. We did not get to cast game number 1, but it is 1-0 at the moment in the favor of Lillekanin. Now, some of you guys might be like, wait a minute, who is Psynetek? I have no idea who Psynetek is, but I was really inclined to join the series because Lillekanin PM'd me saying, look, cast me, bro. I'm going to do something weird. So, I have no idea what that entails, and this is a man who is full of weird shit, if we're going to be honest. So, we'll see how this ends up happening, how this ends up going. Spawning here in the lower left corner of the map, though, currently down 1 at the moment. Perhaps a little bit faltered in game 1. I have no idea. The blue Zerg player, Psynetek. His opponent in the top right, though, from Alien Invasion, the green Terran player, always green, Lillekanin. So, this match is going to be a bit odd in the first place, just because it's Ultra Team Stronghold. Whether you're good or bad at StarCraft 2, this is a map that can lean towards, I guess, dare I say a macro game? I mean, Zerg players have had a lot of comfort on this map because they don't have to worry about the crazy wall off to protect their natural. You know, we've all seen the double evolution chambers and the roach war and all this shenanigans, but on this map, you only have to sit 2 queens on a ramp and you protect both bases, no problem. So creep spread will be an incredible necessity because it doesn't quite reach there immediately. But beyond that too, creep spread's hard to do on this map. It's so freaking big. Now, the drone poked out to the middle part of the map here awkwardly and came back home. I think he was thinking maybe it'd be 2 Raxes. I don't know what the thought process on there was, but Lillekanin takes an earlier command center at home because same kind of benefit goes to him. You don't have to worry about Super Sim City or making a crazy wall off because you only need 1 bunker, or sorry, 1 barracks rather. What am I saying, bunker? 1 barracks and 2 supply depots. Well, I guess technically you could just put a bunker here and be the same thing, but yeah. 1 barracks, 2 supply depots, you're good to go. Oh, sick. Nice. Hey guys, I've got some really cool updates. So I talked about how if the viewership today stays strong, which it freaking is, we'd have like a couple games to give away. But I got some really cool news. The guy who was supplying us slippers to give away just messaged me telling me we've got 1 more. We already gave out 8 and that was all we had. There was no more than that to go out whatsoever. We were done with the deal. We gave out his slippers and everyone enjoyed them. And some people still waiting for them in the mail. But I've just been told we can hand out 1 more pair of slippers and we'll do that today at some point during the broadcast. I have no idea when or where, whenever I just kind of feel like YOLOing it out. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, so I just want to wait the game to evolve here. We've had a couple of giveaways from Base Trade TV in the past, but one of the most coveted prizes we have are these slippers. Now that sounds really silly, because a lot of you guys are like, what the fuck, are you like Mr. Rogers from CBS handing out loafers and slippers? But no, these are like really quality slippers. They're like leather, they're fitted with like alpaca fur. It's the softest thing in the world. And I was the last person to think like, wait, why would anyone want slippers online? The guy told me, hey, let me just send you a pair. If you don't like them, worst case scenario, you got a free pair of slippers. I was hooked the second I put them on my feet. So we've got an awesome giveaway we can now attach at some point during today's broadcast. And I'm so excited to do that. So we got a couple Steam games to give away. We got an XSplit license code or 2, and now a pair of slippers as well. Today is going to be freaking awesome. This is the whole point of the Partoof system, guys. The currency you earn allows you to purchase raffle tickets and have a chance to win these fabulous prizes. Anyways, focusing on the game at hand, the reason I felt comfortable talking about that there is because nothing's really going on. We got a starport on the way, and if we're going to be honest, a lot of you guys from North America, you know Ruff, you know his playstyle, you see a lot of Banshees come out of that guy. Lillekanin is not too different. He is one of the few that will go like 4-port Banshees, 3-port Banshees. Granted, this isn't proxied, but at the moment everything looks kind of standard. And I think the way this is going to play out is he wants to play it safe to start. But then the further we get in, maybe that's where the weird strategies will come into play. Unless you just want to trick me into raffle stomping somebody 2-0. I hope that's not the case. Anyways, 2SV is going to repair the depot. Unfortunately, he needs to pull in to repair the factory. Well, I guess the Hellions will pop out actually, so it's not that big of a deal. But a lot of Zerglings coming out of Psynetek right now. And a 3rd base. So, I mean, again, I have no idea how good versus bad this guy is, but I like the way he's playing this out. Again, like, he's not going to get a lot with these Zerglings, but I think they're intended more to catch Reapers than they were to really deal damage in the first place. Nothing dies so far, by the way. Somehow the Zerglings get away from 2 Hellions. But 3rd CC on the way for safety's sake. Get that economy rocking and rolling. Even a Pult Viking coming out for safety's sake here for Lillekanin. And, of course, he'll transfer that over to the Tech Lab shortly afterwards. Back at home, though, we've got some Lings just kind of hanging around, waiting for those Hellions to come across the map. I don't know if he'll have some Roaches out or not. He does have the Roach Horn on the way, but again, it's all about timing. Banshee coming out as well means he's going to need extra Queens. It's not fun to deal with. Wait, will they have a spore crawler? No, he hasn't scouted this, so he might not know that he needs a spore crawler, actually, which could suck a little bit. There's a lot of Zerg players out there who put down paranoia spore crawlers, I guess you could call them. That's what I like calling them anyways, because you just put them down blindly, and you're like, alright, these will either be good or bad, but it's 100 minerals, not the end of the world. Okay, just kind of waiting for the evolution of this game. There we go, guys. There you have it. Triple starports coming down. I imagine this will be for 3 times Banshees. And this is gonna sting. I don't know if you guys have ever had the displeasure of being on the receiving end of multiple Banshees from 3 ports. I've had the displeasure of having 4-port Banshee proxied near my base because I'm a noob. But you know what? Hang on, I didn't even look at the production tab. See? Okay, so when he said weird, I'm not gonna lie, guys. My heart had its fingers crossed for nukes, but it's not. Instead, it's gonna be battle cruisers. This is so dumb and weird, but it's something that'll end up being effective versus a player who's going for a lot of lings, who might be going for hydralisks even to an extent. Battle cruisers end up working pretty well, especially when there's banshees coupled with them. The air to ground damage from a banshee is just, you can't ignore it. It's just too much, especially if you've got more than one. This is such a weird way to take the game, because if we're gonna be honest, this is also one way you can throw it pretty hard. Battle cruisers, they're alright, but you don't see anyone go straight Sky Terran because it's not really a legitimate strategy. There's a lot of ways to counter it. Get Corruptors out, get a lot of Hydralisks, get Queens, Spore Crawlers, you name it. But even the Behemoth Reactor being researched here, what the f... So he's going to be going for some Yamato Cannon action eventually. You never see the Behemoth Reactor get researched, guys, because this is just like the biggest waste of anything. Like, it's not bad to have. Oh, hey, this is the Day 9 dance, or Husky dance. Oh, who the hell danced to this? I don't even remember. I think it was Day 9. Either way, yeah, Behemoth Reactor is a bit odd to see. It allows them to start with a little more energy so they can Yamato Cannon a little bit quicker, but, I mean, this is just so dumb to look at. 3 bases. I guess you've certainly got the economy for it. Double armories. So we're going to have some upgrades to go with these. Again, just seeing primarily roaches and hydralisks. A couple of lings here. Really, there's not that many hydralisks though. And even let's say like hypothetically, Psynetek goes for pure hydralisks from here on to the end of the game. The sad reality is Hellions are going to actually fare pretty well against those if they're busy shooting the battle cruisers, and if they're busy shooting the Hellions, then the battle cruisers will actually wreck the hydralisks. So Lillekanin, you just have to be a little bit careful. I think, of course, you want to hide these as long as possible, because the easiest way to counter these is just to make a bunch of Corruptors. Being massive units that they is. But, no, it's just Hydralisk still for the time being. Hellions really just keeping Psynetek from pushing, and it's so silly to consider, because we got, like, a really weird build strategy coming out right now, guys, but this is incredibly important. What this does is it keeps Psynetek from going across the map and, like, hitting at a time before their battlecruisers out, before there's any real defense out. Oh man, that Hydra just took down like 2 Hellions. What a beast. Look at it go. Anyways, outside his front door, Lillekanin's got a couple Widow Mines down. He's got battle cruisers locked and loaded. Yamato Cannon has not been researched yet. And of course, the DPS for battle cruisers, while nice, it doesn't hit. They don't hit very hard is the problem. And roaches do come built in with a little bit of armor. But the Hydras, however, do not. So they get melted here pretty quickly. One of the battle cruisers is actually getting a little bit low, but let's not forget, you can always repair these things. And the question is, how do you respond to this? Honestly, how do you respond to this? Well, he's making more Hydralisks. Not a bad choice, not a terrible choice. But quite frankly, he's going to need to mix in at least a Corruptor or 2 if he wants to make this work, because Lillekanin just has no ground forces. Bottom line, it's all in the air. And who needs Hydralisks if you can just build some Corruptors to wipe out the air forces with? So these battlecruisers, by the way, they're going to have enough energy to Yamato Cannon here thanks to the Behemoth Reactor. 100 energy each, and the Behemoth Reactor lets them start off with a little bit more. I think, Behemoth Reactor and Caduceus Reactor have got to be the 2 most useless upgrades in the Terran Armada. For those who don't know the 2 I'm referring to real quick, again, it's the battlecruiser energy boost as well as the medevac energy boost. You start off with a little bit of extra energy. Like, this would be sick if it was, like, increase energy regen. But, like, no, it's just dumb. 25 energy to start is not so good. Anyways, these things are really expensive too, let's not forget. So, like, if one of these die, it's going to be quite costly. But there we go, the front of the battle. I've never seen that actually. I've never watched them. I didn't realize once Yamato Cannon comes out, the front of the thing just like spreads open. That's pretty cool actually. Also, side note, we're just kind of ADDing around here for a second, guys. Is anyone else like really sad that these aren't like missile launchers on the side? Like I always thought for battlecruisers, these were giant ass missile launchers, or at least extra cannons and lasers. But all the lasers come from like underneath the battlecruiser. You can like barely see them like pointing downwards there. I don't know if you saw that or not. Whatever. What I kind of think is kind of cool, the ground support. I like the Widow Mines. They're not going to be crazy. They're not going to be super effective, but they're going to be nice to have. A couple SCVs are in position to repair against this. A Yamato Cannon will one-shot pretty much anything in the game, should have an Ultralisk or a Thor. So as we see, lots of damage currently going out here, and well, round 2 of Yamato Cannon ready to go. And an instant shot takes it down very quickly. But as the Hydralisks begin to move forward, the battlecruisers have to be microed backwards. A couple of the low ones going down pretty quickly, but the SCVs are on the job repairing like beasts. Hydralisk army gets annihilated, and I think one battlecruiser went down for that. That's not what you would call an even trade. If this was alchemy, equivalent trade would be just simply out the window. But alright, this is dumb. Lillekanin can't push really until he's maxed. We have a Spire finally coming out for Corruptors. But again, the problem with Corruptors is going to lie in the fact that Yamato Cannon will one-shot these. Lillekanin may be trolling around, he may be having a good time, maybe this is a legit strategy he has, I don't know the case. But he's going to have to scan and identify this, because you're going to want to get a couple Vikings in the mix. Hell, maybe even just a Raven or two for some point defense rounds so that you can Yamato Cannon behind it safely. But, I mean, Psynetek's on 5 bases, guys. He's really not doing too shabby. He threw an army away, but he was able to afford to replace it. Lillekanin's on 4 himself, which isn't too bad either, but of course his army's a little bit more combustible, I suppose. Like if he loses it, he's screwed. He doesn't have the production to build a whole army behind this. But that's 5 starports, boys and girls. There's one factory and one barracks that was made. The barracks was floating around in nowhere land earlier today too, or earlier on, so I don't even know if it's still alive. And looks like, oh, he actually landed it. Okay, so never mind. Commands are lifted for the retreat. He can fight this though. The battlecruiser count is pretty good. I'm just gonna get the command center, sadly. Oh, Yamato cannons are coming out. Sorry, just adding in my own little sound effects there, but 4 battlecruisers at a time. Oh my god. We got spam repairs going off on 1. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. There's a lot of Hydralisks here, but they're also getting weeded out very quickly due to the level 2 weapon upgrades on these battlecruisers. Again, hitting for 10 damage every 0.2 seconds. These things hit really quick. Side note, is anyone else really disappointed that the animation for the battlecruiser changed from the campaign battlecruiser to the multiplayer one? For those who never played the campaign, I guess, it's out of context. They shoot like a million lasers. They don't do additional damage, but they just shoot like a million freaking lasers out. And it looks so cool. This planetary should hold strong. Roach Hydra is unfortunately not a composition that necessarily busts these down. But the battlecruiser count still 3 at a time. I don't like this, honestly. As we get further in the game, as Corruptors start coming out, as Hydralisks start coming out, I really feel strongly that Lillekanin might want to incorporate a Banshee or two. But again, this is such a weird strategy that this isn't something I can really passively identify and criticize, because it's who does this? Who does this build but Lillekanin? Alright, well the Hydralisks are going to get right underneath this. This is actually really important, because now Psynetek's fighting with the full forces of his Hydralisks instead of getting them mostly mulled out. But even doing so, he only picks off but a battlecruiser for the majority of his army. Again, 100 Hydralisks have died to 5 battlecruisers. This is not an even trade by any stretch of the imagination. And he did build that Spire, but goddamn, where are those Corruptors? Because unless those come out, these Hydralisks will never trade evenly. You have to mix the two together. One without the other is simply not going to work. Lillekanin continues to expand while this is going on. He takes double bases. Most likely going to make planetary fortressi. I really hate, by the way, how everyone turns everything into StarCraft 2, like the multiple into like I. Like, it's Nexuses, alright? It's not Nexi. I think Colossi are the only one that count. But I still think even then Colossuses is more fun to say. At any rate, we do have an oh, you know what? We got an infestation pit coming on the way. It's so dumb to consider, and I don't think it's gonna happen because I think he's looking towards Hive Tech and Vipers, but I would absolutely kill to see some neural parasites come out. Can you imagine a weird strategy like Mass BC countered by a weird strategy like Mass Infester? Run underneath, fungal growth like 90% of the battlecruisers, and Yamato Cannon the rest of the get fungal, or not fungal growth, neural parasited, I should say. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the freaking name. No one uses neural parasite anymore, by the way. Granted, because it sucks, they nerfed it way too hard. But it was also really strong before, so at the same time, like, it's understandable. Anyways, this planetary fortress, like a beast, still stands. 18 kills on these Hydras. The SCV count's way too high, and the battlecruiser's coming from behind. Psynetek is trying so hard to deal damage to Lillekanin, but at every turn he is shut down. The level 2 building armor on this planetary fortress, by the way, was definitely the difference of living versus dying with how low it got. 21 more Hydralisks behind us. 5 bases still mining at the moment for Psynetek. Again, he's throwing so much away, but he's finally exhausted his bank, and he can't quite remax fully. Okay, there we go. There we go! Finally, we got air weapon upgrades! We got Corruptors on the way! And again, this Hive Tech for Abducts is going to be fantastic, but the problem is, guys, you are never going to abduct every single one of these battlecruisers. There's 16! There's not a single ground unit shy of an SCV! I was talking earlier about how there'd be crazy good ground support. We'd see Hydralisks getting killed by Widowmines and Hellions, but I guess, you know what? Fuck me, because that's not what's happening in the slightest. Lillekanin's not even making any ground units. Bottom line, pure air, Sky Terran, OP, however you want to look at it. Yamato Cannon's an Overlord, because you know, why not? Just, you might as well. You might as well. Sorry, just drinking some water there because I'm yelling too much. 149 Hydralisks have died so far this game. The resources lost is unbearable to look at. But as he comes forward, again, Psynetek hits without a full force of his army. He needs to get all the Corruptors here. He just made a bunch of them. Don't send them in one at a time or they're going to get Yamato Cannoned one at a time. Of course, Yamato's going to have to go on the Corruptors this time instead of the Hydralisks to make sure that these get one shot, as they are a little bit more potent. But as we see, annihilation on top of this army. Everything dies. Battlecruiser's doing way too much damage. And you know what? Let's go ahead and give this one a monster kill. Oh, why wasn't the game screen regioned? This is why I hate. This is why I stopped using the monster kill one. It always bugged out. So never again, guys. I'm sorry, monster kill. Rest in peace. I'm sick of you. You always break on me, and that's why I never want to use it anymore. Well, Psynetek. He's lost majority of his army. And it took Lillekanin forever, but he's finally maxed out. With 3 Vikings, 16 battlecruisers, and 67 SCVs. I say, why the hell not just throw away those SCVs and build a couple more battlecruisers? You're this far into the game. But oh my god! Oh my god, he's thinking about neural parasites being researched right now! But unfortunately, he has no pathogen glands, so he's gonna pop out with infestors that can't do anything! Ah, it's gonna be too late. This is such a cool move, and I wanted to see this happen so badly. So badly. But that's not gonna happen. Oh my god. This is... Every game we've cast today has been a weird game. And god damn it if I haven't been happy with every single one of them. Thank god for the Home Story Cup 9 qualifiers. Thank Based Take TV for putting this on. Anyways, battlecruisers raining hell from above. Yamato Cannon's sure to come out en masse if given the opportunity. Again, I don't think he thought forward, because again, the infestor's popping up. Let's go at 50 energy. Neural Parasite costs 100, guys. You can't even, it's gonna take forever. He's gonna be able to make like one, he's gonna be able to make like one Neural Parasite before the game's over. One. Alright, well, even the larvae are dying, with their like insane 200 whatever freaking armor they have. More SCVs are on the front line. He may actually, I was saying it a bit jokingly earlier, he may try and sacrifice these to free up some supply, but oh! Neural Parasite SCV! Build your own battlecruisers! Counter the battlecruisers with your own battlecruisers! What an ingenious strategy! But still, 7 more infestors are coming out, and unfortunately for Psynetek, he's got no pathogen glands! It's gonna take a decade before he can get enough energy to Neural Parasite all of these! Oh my god. Alright, well, trying to stay back. Star Wars? What? Okay, if he says so. Battlecruisers are splitting up. Oh, this is so... As he splits up the battlecruisers, the infestors are getting revealed. Ah, now he knows fungal growth is going to be an option. And, not fungal growth, rather, neural parasite. Your battlecruisers look yummy. So here's the problem, guys. Neuroparasite has almost no range on it nowadays. That's why it got nerfed. That's why nobody uses it. You're gonna have to use the Corruptors and the Hydralisks to distract the battlecruisers in order for you to Neuroparasite them in the first place. But okay. Oh, we're gonna see Neuroparasites for the first time in like forever! And he's gonna Yamato cannon each other! I hope? No? Okay, he's just killing off the Infestors. He's not controlling this very well as Psynetek. It's a cool move, but it's not really working. There we go, a couple of his own start Yamatoing each other, but it's just... You can't even one-shot a battlecruiser with a Yamato cannon. It only does 300 damage. With 550 health, these things stand strong. A cool move out of Psynetek. An A for effort on the style scale. But unfortunately, it's not going to cut it here in the end. Actually, he just grabbed a couple more, but these ones don't have any energy. Screw it. Let me kill my own battlecruisers. Just kill the Infestors. GG is called. Ladies and gentlemen, Lillekanin will take the series 2-0. What opportunity, man. I just cast you. Lillekanin takes the series 2-0 on Ultra Stronghold after a 30-minute game with the weirdest, dumbest strategy I've ever seen. Congratulations.